What you need to show.
He was on Timcast. When did he go here? Or how long ago was this episode? Is this recent?
Is whether or not the FBI and government agents were using undercover operatives and informants on the day of January 6th. Because if you can show that, you know they've been out. Hang on. But the paperwork shows having run informants, that's a 6-month buildup. Minimum.
Right.
Minimum. It's not like they just dropped them into the Proud Boys and said, hey, go, don't disrupt, please. So once you prove that, then you defeat the insurrection narrative with the FBI's own documentation. Forget what the videotape shows.
Just for people who you can't see what's going on in the room, the reason why Kash just said hang on or whatever is because I started smirking and rolling my eyes. And what I meant to convey with that is, come on, we know they were involved.
No, look, I totally
clarify,
agree.
Though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know definitively. What I'm saying is a reasonable suspicion is that there were agents. There's a video showing a guy with an earpiece pulling people into the building. All right. Mm-hmm. You combine that with the evidence of Ray Epps, and it looks like you have a preponderance of evidence suggesting there may have been federal.
I love how he's using like legal terms, like a preponderance of evidence, like that's which is the conviction standard necessary. I say conviction; it's the standard necessary to win a civil case. What are you talking about? A preponderance of evidence? You have a video of an old guy, Ray Epps, and then a video of a dude with an earpiece. What are you even talking about?
Combine that with the evidence of Ray Epps, and it looks like you have a preponderance of evidence suggesting there may have been federal law enforcement involved in making that thing happen.
I'll get you beyond a reasonable doubt. Two pieces of information. Ray Epps was on FBI's most wanted list one day, and the next day he was off of the FBI's most wanted list. There are only two ways that happens. You die, or your informant. Put that aside. Under congressional testimony, Jill Sanborn, who I used to work with, the head of the FBI Counterintelligence Division, in charge of all these investigations, testified under oath when Senator Cruz asked her, flat out, were there federal agents involved with January 6th? And she said, quote, Senator, I can't answer that at this time. Not if the answer was definitively no, having been a DOJ FBI guy myself, she would have gone there and said, nope, absolutely not. The reason she said I can't answer that is because of the same stonewalling they gave us during Russiagate with Christopher Steele, Halper, and everybody else. It's the same narrative, and I'm telling you they were there.
So you're saying that she said I can't answer that because the answer is yes, and that would compromise whatever their operation was.
Exactly.
Of course. For the guy on the audit last night with a card, do you think he should have volunteered ID to de-escalate with the officer, assuming he was actually doing nothing wrong? He could have done it to de-escalate. He could have if he wanted to, but should he have? I mean, I don't know. He's not compelled to. I don't think there's anything wrong with making the cop do his job. And the second the cop starts saying, you have to give me your ID, no, and fuck that. He wasn't legally required to. And if the cop is going to be like fucking dead wrong on it, and if you got nothing better to do that night, oh, fuck it. Go to jail, get a, $15,000 payout from the city if whatever they'd settle something like for. I don't know if you could sue him for that, wrongful detainment or whatever, or wrongful arrest. No, fuck that. Judge letting a man go because he's old.
Mr. Carrera, you are charged with a school zone violation.
I don't drive that fast,
Oh, this is like the nice judge guy who's nice and giggly with everybody.
Judge. I'm 96 years old and I drive slowly, and I only drive when I have to. I was going to the blood work for my boy. He's handicapped. Every 2 weeks, because he's got cancer.
You are a good man. You really are what America is all about. Here you are in your 90s, and you're still taking care of your family. That's just a wonderful thing for you. How old is your son?
63.
Yeah. Daddy's still taking care of him, right?
I only drive when I have to.
Yeah. Listen, sir, I wish you all the best. I wish the best for your son, and I wish you good health. And your case is dismissed. Good luck to you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
What was the charge? As sad as it is sometimes when people get in trouble for shit, generally the laws and stuff are written for a reason, right? Like, imagine next week now, this guy's back and he's like, yes, I was 96 years old driving to do my son's blood work, and I'm now charged with vehicular manslaughter of a class of 24 children because I couldn't see and I was going 55. Okay. Whatever. I made my tweet. Are we done? We're done with this drama? Fuck this guy for lying about my community. What is this? Somebody said
Black person on the show. That's funny.
6 hours ago.
So why?
And when Destiny was sucking your cock, tell us how that felt.
Come on, dude. Why? We're not gonna gay bash this guy. The thing is like a lot of like the socialist people that don't like him are like
They're gay bashing.
they're going gay bash, which is like
Oh, I felt so bad. Am I allowed to? I feel like it's probably not in bad taste to mention like private conversations. I'm not like leaking anything, but me and Adam were chatting yesterday, and he talked about how he was like, it's crazy the amount of just like straight out homophobic comments come from accounts with roses or whatever on. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's what they do. I did. Yeah. Rip.
the socialist people that don't like him are like
They're gay bashing.
they're going gay bash, which is like it's come on.
That's kind of dumb. Do you know there's a rapper? He's one of my favorite rappers. His name's Isaiah Rashad, and he got caught.
He's gay. Yeah.
He got caught with two white guys sucking his dick, and then he played it off so smooth. He was just like, "Sometimes you got to get sucked off," and I was like, "That's real."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The best guy was still the one dude. Fuck, what was his name? I always forget it because I don't know anything about him. Sketch? Fuck, I don't remember what we watched. I think it was like the first like minute of like his stream. Jesus. He goes H3 Snark, level headaches. Okay, we're done with this. This guy's a future manslaughter person. Oh, I asked this question before, but no one in my community can answer because none of you guys are old enough. Where I've always wondered, if you're like 100 years old and your child dies, like how sad is that? Is it tragic, or is it like, I just happen to be really fucking old? My kid died, but he died at 80 years old. He lived like a long ass full life, you know? Like, I wonder if it hits the same, or if it's like, yeah, you know. Theoden in Lord of the Rings. This is the clip you're talking about. Oof, there was some like super sad, not good posts on Reddit today. Was it in photographs or?
Elephant in the room, I got a haircut. Wasn't planning on doing this today, but I guess so. Okay, I'll start from the top. Look at this, open and honest. That was me. That was me. It's okay, though. I will tell you what. Okay. 2 years ago, I did some stuff. I'm sorry if you've seen some of the stuff. You know, I'm a changed person.
That was a good stream. Nah, the older you get, the harder it gets. You lose more and more people the older you get. Lonely for very old people. Oh, that might be true. Where does anybody know there was a sad Reddit post today. Wait, can you get not safe for work shit on RL? The photograph lady who was photographing her parents. Throw back to when I defeated pre-nerf Radon. My grandma died, and my great-grandma, her mother, is still alive. My great-grandma was emotionally destroyed, but she moved on eventually. Well, damn, okay. I had a roommate who was a blacksmith, and he kept a sword under his bed and just had knives lying around. One time he got cut by a sword, and we had to take him to the ER. And he was so smug because the doctor was like, that was a really, really sharp knife. It cut so cleanly. Destiny, I'm very far behind, and someone probably already said it. Well, if he's far behind, is he even hearing me talk to him? But a perfect example of a legal carve-out is the gun charge in the Rittenhouse case. I actually don't believe that was an example of a perfect carve-out in the Rittenhouse case. I think there were actually conflicting statutes there. Because I think one statute had said something about like no child can have like a certain type of rifle, but there was another statute that said 16 and older can have something for hunting. These were conflicting. Like they were literally, I think the laws were literally conflicting as written. That's why the charge was tossed, I believe. What was this? A woman spent 27 years photographing her parents waving her goodbye. Apparently this is an epic Reddit meme that gets posted a lot. Jesus. And her dad died one year, then her mom died the next. God damn. Why isn't the Fed doing anything about the drone shit? Now airports in New York and New Jersey are getting closed down. Wait, really? Airports closing. You just made this up. You've consistently been typing retarded shit in chat today too. You're getting banned. Nice search. Daily Mail. Drone scandal explodes as airport is shut. And New Jersey senator shares eerie new details. Wait, where does it say an airport was shut down in here? The Democrats spoke out after the drones forced Stewart Airfield to shut down its airspace. Stewart Airfield. What is this for, like single engine planes? Is this even a real like airport, or is this just like a smaller? It's a commercial, corporate, and general aviation airport, but also home to a major New York Air National Guard base that is shared by the Marine Corps Reserves. Wait, where does it say? How do we even know this? In mid-November, they directed. She said, "Extended power, New York, and its peers essential." Where is this announcement? Did the airport itself make an announcement, or? According to the Port Authority, okay, there we go. Stewart Airfield was shut down for approximately 1 hour due to drone activity in the airspace. Okay, the Port Authority said this. Wait, temporarily closed its runways around 9:40 p.m. on Friday following a report from the FAA about a nearby drone sighting. Officials say the runways were eventually reopened and that there were no impacts to flight operations during the closure. Wait, what does that mean? There were no impacts to flight operations, so no flights were delayed? Were any flights even leaving this airport then, past 9:40? Or did they close it and there was just not a single flight? What? For a small airport, that's possible. I don't know how small this airport is. Last night, the runways at Stewart were shut down for approximately 1 hour due to drone activity. This is going too far. Okay.
In the mountains of Peru, drinking ayahuasca with the shaman stew. Purpose and paper that shift the mood. I've been learning about myself, finding out my truth. I've been healing my soul, tried the best medicine. I've been learning shit from the.
Whatever happened to this girl? Was this girl popular? I don't even know who the fuck this is. Are we supposed to know? Someone said she died on October 7th. Jesus Christ. Chill. God damn. She's a hippie / new age influencer. Windows PC keyboard. Why was I linked to this? This one is better though. This like weird small shift key down here is not right. It's not natural. I don't know what the fuck this is. Japanese layout has a larger left. Yeah, not good. Magnus Carlsen paid 127.45% of his income as tax in 2022 due to Norwegian wealth tax. Norway has a wealth tax totaling 1% on all wealth over 152,573 USD and 1.1% on all wealth over... Jesus, really? The numbers are actually for 2023. How does that work? Pay more taxes than you earn. It's the unrealized gains tax. This is how their wealth tax works. It is 0.95% over a certain amount of assets. Magnus could have $100 million worth of shares in a private company. He probably does, to be fair, for his apps, etc. Over 100 million? Is he really that wealthy? And get a tax bill for 900K plus. It's a matter of the film firm is loss making and he's pulling in a small salary, he'll still be taxed at amount. This policy has had some negative effects for entrepreneurship in Norway and led to founders leaving due to huge tax bills. Then they get put on the wall of shame. Here's how insane things have gotten in Norway. The Socialist Party is a wall of shame in their office with rich people who have left Norway due to the outrageous taxes they're now being charged. Who do you find on that wall? Startup founders like Heget or Hega, etc., who was forced to leave the country because he was paying all of his income in taxes. When the Soviet Union is becoming the role model of your country, time to GTFO. Not only all my income, several times more than my income. They make $800,000 per game in high-level tournaments. Is that true? Highest prize chess tournaments. Look at the highest payout chess tournaments. The Magnus Carlsen Invitational prize pool, the whole prize pool is $1 million. What are you talking about? Or link me these tournaments where you get paid $800,000 a game. The world championship is 1.4 million for the winner. Okay. That guy, I think that guy was just lying. Okay, we just lie. We just make shit up. Okay. Here's the founder explaining his case. So I tried to build a tech company from Norway, and here's what happened. 2 years of building without almost any money/funding, the better part of a year without a salary. Raise VC and become one of Norway's first unicorns. Face unrealized gains wealth tax bill of many x my annual net salary. Of course, the company is loss-making, and all the investors have preference shares, so I can't take out any money. Call out publicly that this does not make any sense. Independent of level taxation needs to happen when you actually make money. I moved to Switzerland because no politician cares/listens. I still don't get any tangible and sensible answers to my criticism of unrealized gains tax, but I do get put up on the wall of shame at the Socialist Party's offices. I'm Norwegian and I love Norway, but the socialist politicians are taking the country down a dark path. It's a real-life Atlas Shrugged. Huh. I would need to see more numbers to see how fucked this is, but it sounds like not the best way to do wealth taxes. I think there might be ways to do wealth taxes in okay ways, but you have to be super careful about it. And it can't be like a reactionary, like, yeah. Next government is probably going to be right-wing, so they might remove it. Okay. Are property taxes a form of wealth tax? I don't think so. And that Magnus picture showed him as having a wealth of 100 million. Cool. Okay. More info for everyone currently at war below. The tax was brought in 2022 and led to 80 plus of the wealthiest taxpayers leaving. Oof. 54 billion in assets left the country and raised below expected revenues, likely not outweighing the short/long-term losses. They then brought in an exit tax last month to stop people from, oh, and they didn't even do the exit tax beforehand. Oh no. RIP. Would you accept a 1% yearly tax on your wealth and realized gains? If it was stepping up my tax basis at least, like it was slowly making it so I was getting more of a tax basis in my investment, yeah, I think that would be fine. However, I'm in a good position to pay wealth taxes because most of the money that I earn is like tangible, liquid, like cash earnings. It's not the appreciation of assets. If you were founding a business or if you were a co-owner in a business and a lot of your wealth is coming from the appreciation of the company that you're running, you might be in a more rough position, right? Property tax is a version of unrealized tax. I'm wholly and completely and totally unconvinced of that, but okay. I understand what you do. You need to get into college football and use the powers you have for a good cause. Anyways, you're the man. True. Okay, I will. I'll go back to college and play immediately. This chart is bad. Norway's wealth tax oh, good. Nice. Increase raised revenue. In general, people who think most economists are communists can be easily ignored because they're clearly bad at processing information about the world. Actual people say that while some people do move as a result of wealth taxes, it is such a small response that it has very little impact and typical rates are well below the peak of the Laffer curve. Okay. Main incentive for Figure 14 is that the migration-induced effects of wealth taxes on overall economic activity are extremely limited. A 1 percentage point increase in the effective tax rate on wealth of the top 2% of wealthiest taxpayers is found to decrease total employment by 0.03%, total investment by 0.04%, and total value added by only 0.09%. This is despite the fact that wealthy entrepreneurs account for a substantial share of overall economic activity through the firms that they control directly and indirectly. Okay. The main reason for such small effects lies in the very small migration elasticity, which itself is largely due to the fact that migration flows at the top of the wealth distribution are actually remarkably tiny. To measure the behavioral revenue effect, we use the average R equals 0.6%. And for the top 2% of wealthy individuals observed over the period of 1999 to 2006 in Sweden, we find that T divided by W or something, I don't know what the fuck this is, equals 13.1%, using our semi-elasticity estimate, blah, blah, blah. Since the behavioral revenue effect is equal to 0.24, in other words, for every additional Swedish KR kroner, or crowns, tax revenue levied mechanically by raising the wealth tax by, whatever, DR, I guess, only 0.24 kroner are lost due to behavioral migration responses. This clearly outlines that migration responses alone, even accounting for all tax externalities, are too small to Swedish wealth tax anywhere near the life curve before. Okay. I don't know what chart he's responding to, so. Doesn't the U.S. also have an exit tax if you announce citizenship? I think so. Another one of his tweets. In 2022, Norway increased their wealth tax by 1%. In response, some high-profile billionaires moved out of the country. According to a viral claim, this resulted in a net loss of revenue. Is this true? No. Over the next 2 years, wealth tax revenue soared to all-time highs. Total wealth tax measured in inflation-adjusted 2022 kroner. I think Norway and Sweden both call them kroner or crowns. Does it ever bring you doubt that most critique of you is either lies or ad hom? I mean, I feel like if anything, it shows that I'm probably correct in what I say, right? Otherwise, people would have more critiques for me. In response to my profile, no, that's okay. What is this? Total wealth tax measured in inflation adjusted 20 million kroner. According to the figures, is this just money raised by wealth taxes? Or is this total tax revenues? This just says total wealth tax. To understand how the false claim came about, here's the original source calculation. It's reasonable enough napkin math. Where it went wrong was in using the Guardian's claim that the net worth immigrants was 54 billion USD. Bloomberg/Fortune cited 4.3 billion instead, and I've been able to track down the source from Q&A with the Norwegian Minister of Finance confirming that that is the correct number. If you do the rough math from the original post, but plug in the verified 4.3 billion number around the 54 billion claim, you get a net gain of about 100 million rather than a loss of 448 million. Contrary to the original claim, Norway is on the left of the Laffer curve. Source for the chart on the first tweet is this report from a free market-oriented think tank in Norway. This comports with more academic studies of wealth taxation and migration. This paper finds that while there was some effect from a similar wealth tax in Sweden, it was statistically quite small and thus well below the peak of the Laffer curve. This guy is slightly misleading, no? Isn't it possible that the other taxes they are losing from people no longer being in their country is more than what was gained by the increase in wealth tax? Possibly, but I don't know. This is like a big econ thing that I would have to dig into a lot. I think my biggest concern would be that wealth taxes might not cause most of the people that are impacted by the wealth taxes to leave, but that's because most people impacted by wealth taxes are probably just going to be old people, would be my guess, because the older you are, the wealthier you are, because you've had more life to accumulate money. But it might have a disproportionate impact on business owners or entrepreneurs. And if those people would leave at a higher percentage rate, then whatever money you're making in wealth tax might be lost in either other taxes or capital investment in your country. But I don't know the answer to that. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't, I'm not sure. What do you think about a system that would cut corporate taxes based on how much they pay their lowest employees? It sounds dumb. I don't know why you'd ever tie taxes to that. Biden edit.
Do not scare easily.
Okay. What do you think about progressive fines where you get a traffic ticket to spend on your income? I think that's based. The value of working on treaties to prevent incentives for capital flight. I think reciprocal taxation, I think, is good. I don't think that there should be countries that make money on having favorable tax policy. I think that's really silly, in my opinion. But I haven't had a good argument, or haven't heard a good argument defending that. What is this?
Feelings. I can't stop. You're hurting my feelings. I can't stop thinking about the things you said to me. Did you really mean that? Yes, I fucking meant that. And you know what? I know that you fucking liked it. That's why you keep coming back. You can't escape me. You're fucking addicted. You need me. You literally can't come unless you think about me. You fucking need me. Stop pretending. You love how mean I am. You want me so deep in your head that you can't even come to normal fucking shit anymore. You're so fucking sick.
Okay. Norway's tax revenue fell after that. Yeah, but the issue you run into here is you're getting into like, you're probably, oh no, wait, I was gonna say you're getting into COVID time, but this is after COVID time. It could have been that consumption was higher or something right after COVID, and then these, like, you need to see a larger, oh, here you go. Max. Norway's tax revenue from March 2002 to June 2024. Okay, so it seemed to abnormally spike here. My guess, I think this is a thing that you saw in a lot of different economies where people were at home, businesses were closed, people weren't doing anything with their money over COVID, and then as soon as the economy opened, it kind of exploded. So it's not surprising that tax revenues would explode as well in that same time period, and then they'd settle out to normal afterwards, right? What's the benefit of being salary instead of hourly? I feel like unless you're getting huge comp packages, a salary, it's much better to be hourly on a time clock, getting overtime pay. I mean, salary is just a little bit more stable. And generally speaking, salaried jobs are like more like serious. You don't have to punch a time card. You don't have to do whatever. Maybe you have more flexibility to come in a little late, leave a little early, or get destroyed by your bosses milking you for extra time, depending on, but also some people on salary can also apply for overtime as well. I think it depends on where you work.
If you're like me and for the past couple months, your TikTok and YouTube feed has been...
Wait. Let me do this real quick. What was this? ABC to pay $15 million to settle a defamation suit brought by Trump. The outcome of the lawsuit marks an unusual victory for President-elect Donald J. Trump and his ongoing legal campaign against national news organizations. Donald J. Trump filed the lawsuit this spring concerning on-air statements made by the star ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos. ABC News agreed on Saturday to give $15 million. Why was this not sealed? Okay. ABC News agreed on Saturday to give $15 million to President-elect Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump's Future Presidential Foundation and Museum to settle a defamation lawsuit filed by Mr. Trump this spring concerning on-air statements made by the network's star anchor George Stephanopoulos. Have you ever given anyone time to try and LVT pill you? I mean, in terms of relying on it for a large portion of funding, it's obviously a pretty good tax. I don't care. The people that advocate for it are probably some of the most annoying people in the entire universe. And we're never, ever, ever going to be in a position, or at least no time in the near future, of having society accept it. So why would I even wait? wall-to-wall, around-the-clock coverage of our favorite streamer, Sanabi.
Kick was a cutout for steak. I said the kick was a carve out gambling sponsorships. And
okay, I'm bored. Do you remember if you came... Sorry, that was an awkward place to stop. Do you remember if you came to the conclusion that Trump's renegotiation of the NA trade agreement was overall good? I think it was just like meh. I don't think the if you're talking about the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, it didn't really do much. I don't think so. I don't think anybody can have a strong opinion about one way or another of goods that had to be manufactured in Canada, Mexico, or the U.S. before. But it was basically just like kind of like NAFTA plus a little bit of. I would say that it's a little bit worse. The abbreviation is worse. It's cool, and the other one is like. Anything strange? Well, okay, well, you ruined all the drama. I don't know if this guy made it or not, and now I see he's giving a fucking interview, so I already know he's made it, okay? What the fuck?
And let her sit in there and die.
Yeah, he's climbing all the way up the outside of the building.
Sometime after 9:30 p.m., Jermaine received a call from his sister saying his 65-year-old immobile mother couldn't make it out of her apartment on the 15th floor. Jermaine rushed to the scene, but police had blocked off the front door.
This was 1 year ago. He was talking hypothetically.
Said they was like, the elevator's not working. I'm like, no problem. I'll take the steps. I just want to go make sure my mother is sick. She bedridden. So I need to get up there.
He did the interview before climbing. Shut the fuck up. He clearly didn't do that.
But police wouldn't let Jermaine in. So despite having fractured his hip earlier that day, Jermaine let adrenaline take...
Wait, he missed it. Oh, wait, what did I miss? Sorry.
It's not working. I'm like, no problem. I'll take the steps. I just want to...
Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
To go make sure my mother is sick. She bedridden. So I need to get up there.
But police wouldn't let Jermaine in. So despite having fractured his hip earlier that day, Jermaine let adrenaline take over, climbing the building's fenced-in balconies, wire cutters in hand.
I was going to cut a hole in the fence to next door and then, to let her go through.
The fire was contained by...
Is this joke racist? Is this really a thing? Is this a meme? I don't think it's a... I think it's the associations with black people, but it might just be a poor person thing. Like you have a smoke alarm and it just goes off. You just don't buy batteries for it or whatever.
By the time he reached his mother's floor, she reassured him from the balcony that she was okay, and back down he went.
Wait, what?
Adrenaline take over, climbing the building's fenced-in balconies, wire cutters in hand.
I was going to cut a hole in the fence to next door and then, to let her go through.
The fire was contained by the time he reached his mother's floor. She reassured him from the balcony that she was okay.
You thinking she dying?
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I came in as thinking like, wow, this guy seems like a hero. Like, what a cool dude. Seems like so unnecessary. Wait, what? Was it just this one apartment had a fire in it? Is that it?
He reached his mother's floor. She reassured...
What? Okay.
Assured him from the...
All right.
Hassan, quickly, come on.
Didn't we already watch this? Why are we watching Miskiff watch this?
Real quick. 30 seconds.
Or did we
Fuck
watch
outta here.
Miskiff watch
Let's
it
get your interview
14
out the
hours
way.
ago?
I don't care if you piss your pants. What are you dropping?
I'm just dropping my bag. Oh, let's go over in the backdrop. Are we moving?
We gotta move for Hassan, actually. Hassan's too big, apparently.
Go over there. Go back there.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
We watched Miska. Is this just a different clip or? Yeah, that's true. What could he even do if there was a serious fire? That's true. What was he going to do? Carry his mom down? Since Assad fell, the agreements with Syria and Israel fell, so they took over a piece of land that fell along the Assad government. Actually, oh no. Oh no. We're not talking about this issue. We're not getting into this. Because I think I just realized it's from 67. I don't think there was actually a real border that had ever been negotiated between those two states, right? So from Israel's perspective, it might be that, well, if Assad's gone, then fuck it, let's keep fighting, possibly. Which, I mean, but I don't know. I'm not sure, actually. That's on you, Chief. But I don't know 100% though. Take that with a grain of salt. So wait, hold on. Has to gain control. If you want to don't stop thinking about ISIS. Just don't think about this at all. You really just shouldn't. Just put a whole black piece of tape over the Middle East and just don't think about it at all, okay? From the West, we want to go in and we want to look at guys as like, these are bad guys and these are good guys. Okay, who are the bad guys? Well, ISIS and Al-Qaeda are the bad guys, obviously. And the good guys are, I guess, either the HTS, is that what they call themselves now? Or Assad, one of the... But... just don't fall into this trap of like, oh, the good guys and the bad guys and the good guys. There's way too many factions in here, and there's way too many people that have different interests for different reasons in this region. Is it destabilizing their neighbor? It could be bad in the long run for everyone, but I don't know. I don't know. There might be times when you prefer a destabilized neighbor. Depends. Here's an actually serious answer if you're looking for it. Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria in 67. 6 years later, in the Yom Kippur War in 73, Syria tried to reclaim it and caused major losses for the IDF, bloodiest war in Israeli history. Eventually, Syria got beaten back and Israel invaded and captured another chunk of the Golan, holding it for several months, even after a ceasefire was signed. In 74, Israel and Syria reached an agreement whereby Israel would return the territory it captured in the Yom Kippur War, and that this area would become a demilitarized zone enforced by a newly created UN mission. Part of this agreement was that Syria and Israel would patrol their respective sides of the demilitarized zone. Fast forward 50 years, in which this agreement pretty much held up, and Syria descended into a civil war. Even throughout the civil war, the terms agreed to were pretty much honored by both sides, with minor infractions by Syrian rebel factions, including ISIS. ISIS is that far to the south? Maybe, I don't know. However, due to the collapse of the Syrian government in the last 2 weeks, Syrian soldiers who were supposed to enforce their end of the deal abandoned their post. The result, rebel factions entered the DMZ, even going as far as to attack the UN garrison. So according to the deal, Israel now has the right to return to its own security. Okay. What the fuck? Don't we have a... Oh. One-day warning ban. Post sources! I don't know who you are. How mad do you think the Europeans are going to be when the Syrians in Europe don't actually leave? Don't most of them want to go back? Okay. Watch this, Destiny. I'm like 85% sure this guy is a Nazi, no? The Keith Woods guy?
What's going on here? What's this all about?
So for the past few decades we've been under constant oppression by Bashar al-Assad, dictator of Syria.
Yeah.
He's been imprisoning civilians, he's been murdering, torturing, massacring everybody left and right.
Alright.
So since this morning, since 2 a.m. we've reclaimed Damascus being the capital of Syria.
Yes, yeah, I understand.
So the entire country is free.
So you're free now?
We are free now.
So finally. So now does that mean all you go back to Syria now?
The economic situation isn't correct.
Okay. So it's economic reasons. You're in Ireland, economic reasons.
Oh, this is just like it's your far right talking points, right? Yeah. Okay. Based. Can't wait for Elon to start talking about that. True. You fuckers. Where are my mods at? Everybody needs to be getting a 3-day ban in here. Where are the sources? Source your fucking statements.
President-elect Donald Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the first president since Grover Cleveland.
Oh, it's even infected the mainstream media. Did this come from alternative media or did it come from mainstream media first? I just don't understand what you gain from putting cameras on these fucking stupid moving bars. What are you adding? It's so stupid.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the first president since Grover Cleveland to win non-consecutive terms.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans now have control of the House and the Senate.
Right.
What do you plan to accomplish in your...
I was watching yesterday's VOD and you said the train doesn't matter because Israel's planes. Hope you got a lot of angry emails for that. I didn't, and I don't think it matters. I don't. Yeah, fight me, bite me, and fuck you. I don't think it matters that much. I think that's copium. Hard copium. Get fucked. The only terrain that matters is how loose the soil is underneath the dirt so that you can dig some goddamn tunnels. That's the only thing that actually matters, okay?
First 100 days in office.
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll be our first signal, and a first signal to America that we're not playing games. We have people coming in by the millions, as you know, and a lot of people shouldn't be here.